So in class, we've learned a lot about what it is to be a bad girl. We've learned a lot of diverse definitions, but the main kind of home-based definition we've learned is
any girl or woman who challenges the monolithic traditional image of girls and women as virginesque, feminine, and beautiful. A bad girl has power. A bad girl has agency. A bad girl has prowess. A bad girl breaks the socially prescribed role of what it means to be a girl or woman. There are many different types of bad girls: whores, femme fatales, rebels, rule breakers, Liliths, black widows, nerds, lesbians, bitches, sluts, and superheroes. So we decided to see what other people thought their definition of a bad girl was and who in society they believed to be one. So here, take a look.
yeah.
When I think of a bad girl in film, I think it's someone who would go against societal norms, whether being gay, lesbian, or doing drugs, stealing, stuff like that. One person that comes to mind, Miley Cyrus. She hasn't really been a bad girl role so far in a movie, but she was in like 2 Nicholas Sparks movies, Disney Channel, so she has that whole background to her, and then she comes out and does twerking and gets all over Robin Thicke on the VMAs and is riding a wrecking ball and licking hammers, which all have sexual innuendos, which is something you don't want your daughters to look at if you are a father or mother. So I would say that her going against societal norms right there would definitely be one thing that would make her a bad girl to society.
When I think of a bad girl, I would think of Miley Cyrus, because even though she hasn't played like a bad girl in like film, in society she's kind of like, she was the whole Disney Channel star, and now she's like shedding that kind of to be like herself, and she doesn't care what other people think. She doesn't care what, like, you know what I mean? Like, she doesn't care. Like, she's performed at the VMAs, like, that was really like seductive. Like, people kind of like turned heads. And then there was, I don't know where it was, maybe the AMAs, she like lit a joint up on stage once, like doing drugs.
My idea of a bad girl in film is Katniss from the Hunger Games, because she rebels against her district and is not a typical girl and will fight for what she believes in.
It's a TV show, Arrow, the character Sarah Lance. She deviates from the social norm. Her morals are bad, and that she kills, or she harms people.
I think the biggest one would be a girl fight with Michelle Rodriguez, and I don't know, she was just kind of like badass, and like she's kind of like one of the guys pretty much, and I'd say she's one of those girls who could take, she could take the punishment, but she could also dish it out even tougher. Yeah, I think she goes against the conventional definition of what a girl is, pretty much. Like, she boxes, she's tough, she handles her own shit, So I think that's my definition of a bad girl. Like, I think someone who could take the jokes and take all the punishment, but she could dish it out as well.
A bad girl would be someone who's super sexy and uses her brains rather than her heart.
I'd say Angelina Jolie, only because like obviously her films, her character's super badass, but then at the same time, like what she does for humanity, like all those charities and stuff that she does, I think that describes what a bad girl should be.
A bad girl is a girl that goes out of the norm and does things that things they want her to stick out in life, as in something that a girl wouldn't do, like not girly things, as in like boxing, karate, jiu-jitsu, or not in my case, girls that try to do infantry. Throughout many years in life in the Marine Corps, girls don't do infantry, but now since girls want to step out of the norm, be bad girls, they want to try to do things that they can't do, not listen to their parents, or things that society just they're not meant to do, just like infantry. And that's what I think what a bad girl is.
My definition of a bad girl is someone who's rebellious, likes attention, and doesn't care or respect any rules of anybody or anything. I think an example would be Miley Cyrus. She's not a positive role model, and she's not a classy image for younger people who are influential or easily influenced. and I don't think it's a positive image for anybody.
So I would say that a bad girl would probably be someone who like doesn't really care about the rules and doesn't really care about like the repercussions of their actions or like the consequences. And who just like doesn't really want to be like a role model to anyone or have anyone like look up to them or things like that. So I guess in the form of like a celebrity, I would probably think of Rihanna as being like a bad girl. Not that she's a bad person, because I think she's cool, but like she doesn't really give a shit and she like wears whatever she wants and like isn't really concerned about what image she's portraying to like young girls and her fans and things like that. And I think it can be a good thing when you're young for like a little while because you like experiment and whatever. So like for someone my age, like it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But I think as you get older, you need to like look at yourself and then think like, oh, how are the people around me like looking at me and judging me, and then if I have an effect on them. So in Rihanna's case, like, I don't really think it's that great of a thing. I think it sells music, but I don't really think it's a positive message.
So as you can see from just a few interviews that we've done, people have completely different perspectives on what a bad girl is and who specifically is portrayed in the media or in film or in society to be a bad girl.
So looking at the interviews and people's different definitions of what a bad girl is, it's really interesting to see where kind of the definition has progressed through the years. For example, in class we've watched movies like The Bad Seed and Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, and seeing how that definition of bad girls has definitely changed and switched to what it is now. And we thought it's interesting to think about like what a bad girl might be in 10 years and how it could be different or how it could be similar. So that's all.
Project done.